Good evening and welcome to this Buck Stops Here special. In a few hours from now, the government will place a detailed affidavit before the Supreme Court. The court, of course, in its observation, seems to have dragged the Prime Minister and his office into the telecom controversy. Has the government been mishandling its entire response? Why isn't the Prime Minister speaking? Should the Prime Minister have responded faster and quicker to Subramaniam Swamy's petition? And what happens if all the old telecom licenses are scrapped? To answer these questions and much more, the person who's become really the UPA's go-to man, Kapil Sibal, this government's chief troubleshooter. And Kapil Sibal, I don't know how to introduce you because I was going to say HRD, then I had science and technology, but what's really relevant in this context is telecom.
Yes.
And so in that context, let me start with a broad question first. There is a perception that while no one questions the personal integrity of the Prime Minister, and interestingly, not even the BJP, not even the left, this entire crisis, this entire controversy has been severely mishandled, that the Congress hasn't been able to get its defense together, that the statements made in the Supreme Court have not been effective, which is why you see this rather unprecedented situation where the court has passed observations against the Prime Minister.
Well, first of all, I think that this is the culture of the media today. What's happened, and this is the culture really of the kind of communication revolution we are having. It's the result of that. When judges say something in court, that's not a judgment.
It's an observation. I called it an observation.
It's not even. It's in the course of eliciting information, eliciting a response. You may say something that you don't believe in also, but you want to elicit a response. Now that statement is taken at face value, and then it is sort of on channels. It is run as this is what the Supreme Court says, and it creates a lot of not just confusion but consternation.
But I'm sure that the Prime Minister, and you called him a sensitive man today, and we all, one knows that about him. He couldn't be happy that the Supreme Court spoke about his alleged inaction and silence.
So this is not a question of being happy or unhappy. The question is that the Prime Minister, you can't even imagine the number of things that the Prime Minister has to do. And for his attention to be diverted with respect to a man who is only interested in political one-upmanship.
Subramaniam Swamy, you mean?
Whatever, right? One-upmanship. For him to be distracted and most important things of the nation being put aside, I think is unfortunate for the nation. It belittles our nation that people like this can actually try to destabilize the system.
Why do you say the Subramaniam Swamy is trying to destabilize the system? Because irrespective of what your opinions are of him as an individual or a politician, he argues that he is completely within his legal right under the Prevention of Corruption Act to seek sanction for prosecution because he already has the available material to prosecute.
Wonderful. I think, Barkha, you hit the nail on the head. You used the word sanction for prosecution.
Yes.
But before you seek sanction for prosecution, there is an investigation.
He says he's done that investigation.
No, he is not. He is not CBI. Is he the CBI? Or has God given him that authority to investigate on behalf of India and all the criminals, to attack all the criminals of India? What is the writ? Has the court given him a writ? Look, we appoint you as an investigator. You can be an investigator. I can be an investigator. So lots of Indians in this country can say that they are investigators.
But if the law permits that, why not?
Where? That's why you use the right expression, sanction for prosecution. So what happens in a court of law, forget a court of law, when I have a grievance against somebody has committed a criminal wrong, what happens? I either file an FIR, right, and the police investigates. If I don't want to file an FIR, and I don't believe in the police investigating, I can go to a magistrate and file a private complaint. Now that private complaint can be dealt with in two ways. The magistrate can say, we'll direct the police to investigate, or the magistrate will himself investigate. If the police investigates, then after the investigation is over, and the police, if it chooses, say that the investigation has led to nothing, there is no criminal culpability, we file the report. No question of sanction. But if the police decides to actually prosecute, which is the phrase you used, then before prosecution, you have to get sanction.
But isn't
so the three stages are investigation, decision to prosecute, sanction, prosecution.